sisters out there in Facebook land, how you doing? 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 This is your brother Tony. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I got some good content for you tonight, my brothers and sisters. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Let me get this camera right. Got to set this camera up. I hope that is right. I think that's right. You might be right. Might be right. Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. Got some good content for you tonight. How you doing, Auntie? How you doing, Sister Flo? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Seems like I'm about to cut my head off. Let me adjust this camera some. Hold on. Okay. Got it. How you doing, brothers? How you doing, sisters out there in Facebook land? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? This is your brother Tony. Come on in, come on in. Got some good content. How you doing, Sister T? How you doing, Mother? Come on in, come on in, come on in, brothers. Come on in, sister. We're about to get into this topic. Got a good topic for you all tonight, and I'm sure that you will enjoy it. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm ready to jump on it. By the way, how did you all enjoy your weekend? I hope that you all had a good weekend, and I hope that you all had a good start of this new week. How you doing, Sister Pamela? How you doing? How you doing, Sister Pamela P. Love? How you doing? Now, let's get ready to jump on into this topic, but as you know, I got to do my normal introduction. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and before I say anything else, go ahead and get you a bag of that popcorn that Sister Flo has for you. Get your soda so you can relax and enjoy this show. Don't sit in the back. Come up a little closer to the front. We got some room in the front, my brothers and sisters, because I don't want you to miss this content tonight. It's very, very important. My brothers and my sisters, come on in, come on in, come on in. Now, my normal spiel, my brothers and sisters, is that I believe strongly in the relationship of a man and a woman from a biblical perspective. When I say a biblical perspective, I mean God created the man and he created the woman. So that's what I stand on, and that's what I firmly believe. If you believe in anything else, you have a free will, my brother, so you can do whatever you want to do. But as far as I go, I believe in the relationship between that of a man and a woman. With that said, we're about to jump into the topic. The topic tonight, and I know now the brother, they will be able to recognize when I talk about, because some of them have done it, or some of them planning on doing it. Not all men. This is not all men. But since some of you sisters, you want to know this particular question, and this particular question is when he doesn't call and text you. Again, tonight's topic, my sister, when he doesn't call and text you. Again, when he doesn't call and text you. Now, let's be realistic. When we're going to talk about most of the men in the United States of America, and probably all over the world, but I'm narrowing it down to the United States of America. Let me tell you this. Sisters, most men that you will encounter, they have a high libido level, and it could be extremely high. So most of the time when you encounter a man, his libido is going to be particularly and extremely high, or to say it differently, his sex drive will be pulsating. Or to bring it down to everyday language, how you doing, Sister Shara? He is in heat. Now, like most women, want a man to take care of them or his money. So this is the big game that's overall playing, okay? This is the big game. But sister, I want to let you know that majority of the time when a man meets you, his libido extremely high. Now, when he doesn't call and text you, here are some reasons. I'm not going to keep you on long, my brothers and my sister. I'm not going to keep you long, but I'm going to make some points and you need to listen to it. I got a few points I'm going to make. Listen to it. Come up a little close. Like I said, we got some seats in the front. Come on up, come on in. But this is it. Number one, when a man first initially meets you, sister, he sizes you up. A man mentally sizes you up when he first meets you. And when this man first meets you, he go into a strategy. And what is that strategy? Time you open your mouth. Most men go into a strategy to tell whether or not he wants you for a long period of time or a short period of time. And right there at the initial point, he might talk to you a few days. And after he talked to you a few days, he might ghost you. Why did he ghost you? Because it was something you were saying out of your mouth. And this is not no beat down on some of you sisters, but I know some of you want to know why this happened. How you doing, Sister Cynthia? Why does this happen? I'm a good girl. I do everything right. I'm a victim. But why these guys keep doing this to me? And I'm about to tell you some of you sisters. So some of you might have to do a reevaluation. But the first thing you need to understand, sister, watch how you talk to a man when you first meet him. How you doing, Sister Taylor? Watch how you talk to a man when you first meet him. Because when you first meet this man, like I say, it's a strategy. It's a strategy that he's going to form. How you doing, Auntie Carl? You won't sleep with him. Yeah, we're going to get to that, Auntie. Hold on. We're going to get to that. It's a strategy. And this man sized you up to see just how far he can get with you. And if he will call you and text you. And if it's not going to go according to plan, or if he have to put in too much work, he is going to stop calling you and he's going to stop texting you. Number two, he didn't look at you as wife material. He doesn't look at you as wife material. He look at you as you are a temp. What is a temp? As you know, when you have these jobs and stuff, they hire temps. Temp is temporary. The temp is expected to do a whole lot of things that the job requires, but the temp is not going to get all the benefits out of the relationship. So this man, he sees you as a temp. You are a temp, and he's not going to invest a whole bunch of time with you. He's going to get what he wants out of you, and then out of the blue, he's going to let you go. He's going to ghost you. Number three, he asks you questions and he watch your behavior to see whether or not it will fit with his life purpose. Now, if this is especially true with a man that's on a spiritual journey and he got purpose in his life, he's going to ask you certain questions. He's going to watch your behavior to see will you be able to roll with him or be his helpmeet, or are you going to participate in his life journey that he got from the Lord. Number four, and this is legitimate, sisters. This is legitimate. Sometimes the man could have lost his telephone. He could have actually lost his telephone and he could not make no contact with you because things like that happen. That's why, sister, what I'm telling you, don't initially think that the man is all the bad all the time. All men are bad, but sometimes the man could have actually lost his telephone. That's why some of you sisters that are into men running after you, the first thing you're going to think, he don't call me, he don't text me, but I'm going to touch that shortly. So I'm not going to call him, I'm not going to text him. So you don't call, you don't text, you don't know what happened to him. So he could have lost his phone. That's what he could have did. Or number five, and you don't call or text him. Some of you sisters, you think that the man's supposed to run after you all the time. Some of you been brought up thinking that you don't supposed to do nothing. You think that you are the prize, and you think that he's supposed to run after you. That's on TV. That's Lifetime stuff. That's all that other stuff. In real life, a man wants you to show that you are interested in him as he's interested in you. Now, some men, they will call you and they will text you, but when you don't respond back to him, he probably going to think that he got to run after you and try to jump through all these hoops with fire on it And if he doesn't do it, and you in the audience, like I said all the time, you doing just like this, you clapping and saying, jump high, let's see what else you can do. Most men are not going to run after you. And this is what I mean by most men are not going to run after you. A man that knows that he have options, he's not going to run after you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you a page out of my life. When I was into the dating thing, I really didn't pursue no women strongly. There's not one woman that could say that I really pursued her strongly. Because if I know that a woman going to have me jumping through hoops and doing a lot of unnecessary stuff, I knew that I had options. I know that I'm not Denzel Washington and all that kind of stuff, but I knew that I had options. I'm not wealthy. I don't have billions of dollars, but I could hold my own. But I did know this one thing. I knew that I had options. Like a lot of men, they know they have options. So if a woman going to take them through all these unnecessary changes and the man could be serious about the woman, he's going to exercise his options. Number 6, you don't make contact with him unless it's about me, myself, and I. You never call. You never text, but when you call and text, it be about what you want and what you need. Other than that, he doesn't hear from you. Because most of the time, some women, they will call a man just to gauge and see how they can go about maneuvering to try to get something that they need or want. Other than that, she won't call and she won't text. That's what some women do. Not all women does that. So this man view that woman as a taker, or she wants to use him. Number 7. And this is a key one. Some of you sisters, you need to listen up. You like to debate about everything. You like to debate about everything, and you call it, you might think you expressing your opinion. There's nothing wrong with an opinion. But I'm telling you, by talking to a group of guys and stuff like that, a woman that like to debate a lot, it's uncool. If you like to debate a lot, it's uncool. It ain't nothing wrong with a woman expressing her opinion. Don't get me wrong. But when it seems like it's always a debate, that's somewhat that man thinking in mind, okay, if I get with her, it's going to be debate. You can have a conversation. You can have a conversation and trying to debate and get the last word. That's something else. Because there are some women that like to get the last word, and some of you sisters, you know what I mean. There are some men too, but there are some women that like to get the last word. Number 8, you pretty, you're fine, you're gorgeous, but you have an attitude. How you doing, Sister Twyla? You have an attitude. And there's some real attractive women, they have attitude. Because they think that their beauty and how fine they are going to take them. It can take them somewhere for a short period of time. But if you have an attitude, that's going to turn a man off. And you thinking that you Miss Universe and you're accustomed to a lot of men running after you. But when this one particular brother, he don't want to deal with your attitude. Now, there are some girls, well, I ain't gonna say girl, there are some women that they might not be a 10 or 9 or however you want to call it, but some women, they could be, like I always say, an adjustable 7 or adjustable 6, but they have some of the sweetest, how shall I say it, the sweetest hearts. They are nice on the inside. They're very, very pleasurable to get along with. Well, pleasant to get along with, and they don't have an attitude, but they inside make them more beautiful than they might be on the outside. So there are some women that could be adjustable 6 and 7 on the outside, but they're beauty on the inside. So their beauty on the inside, that's right, Sister Cheryl, the personality, that makes that woman better. So if this woman, is she pretty, fine, gorgeous, and she thinks she got it going on, yes, she got it going on because she used to men running after her, but she's going to run into a man that he might say you pretty and all that kind of stuff, but he's not going to run at you. As a matter of fact, let me tell you this. When I first met my wife, I said to Quelsa, you all used to me calling her Cinderella. I said, you are a very attractive woman. However, I have to know how you think. And she said, what you mean by that? I said, I have to know how you think, because, you see, I knew that just because the woman looked nice and she might have a little shape or whatever, that just go for a short period of time. That's right, Sister Florida, just with 6 or 7. But you see, I told her at the rip, I said, you look nice, but I got to know how you think. Now, and this is another thing. Number 9, you are controlling. There are some women that have so much masculine energy in them that they are controlling. And what caused a lot of this from happening? This is what happens. Some women, they are told that don't depend on no man. Go to school, get your PhD and all that kind of stuff. Don't depend on a man. So some young women, they are conditioned to that. And who normally condition them? Some of their mamas condition them that, or some of their fathers. Somebody tell them that do not depend on no man. So when you get at the point, you get everything together. And then some sisters, when I say sister, I'm not only talking about black women, I'm talking about sister or different races. So don't think I'm just talking about a black woman. When I say sister, because sister could be different shades, different races. Then they could get, they could have a business, or they could have, or they could work, do their own thing. That's an airplane flying by. Let me wait till the airplane go by. All right, it's gone by. But anyway, some women, they could be high on the corporate ladder. How you doing, Sister K? When they could be high on the corporate ladder or doing their thing. And then they bring their job to the relationship. And then there are some women that talk to men like they're little boys. They don't realize that, they might not realize that they talk to a man like he's a little boy. But some women, they do that. They talk to the man like the boy on the inside of him, instead of looking at the man on the outside of him. There are some women that do that. So some women think they talking to a boy man, which they are not. Here's another thing, sisters. While a man might stop calling you or texting you, he finds out that you are dating someone else or you talking to someone else. He find out that you're dating someone, talking to someone else. Because a lot of time, not all the time, there are some women that was tell a man, just like men do it, when you talk about men, you all want to know why he doesn't call and text you no more. Some men, they find out that you are talking to someone else. You see, at the beginning, you made it seem like you were single and you were not talking to no one else or nothing like that. But this man, he might have something on the inside of him. His spider senses started tingling, and he started doing some investigation because he wanted to make sure before he invested in you whether this is legit or not. But it's something that was going on with you. It's either something that you said or something that you're doing. Something doesn't seem quite consistent. So he checked you out. He found out that you're seeing another guy or multiple guys, and when he find out this, he just pulled himself away from you, and the calls and the texts start coming because you were not up front. Now this could go either way. Some men do that and some women do that, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about why he doesn't call and text you. Another thing, number 12, you stop doing what you was doing. You stop doing what you were doing. Like, you all have heard this phrase before, or this saying, whatever you do to get a person, you have to continue to do it. But I'm going to say this, whatever you do to get a person, you need to build on it and invest in it and make it grow. Now, there are some women, not all women, you start off good. You start off in the race real good. The go out, Paul, you running the race real good. But it's not inside of you. Some of you, not all of you. And this is what it said. You know, some people said within the first 90 days, you should be able to tell how a person really is. You really do not have to work. I mean, you don't have to look at it that way as 90 days. It could be a very short period of time, especially if you have the discernment in you. And that's a gift of God. If you have discernment in you, he could see it. So, sister, if you were doing something that you were not doing, where you stopped doing it, that could make the man pull back and stop calling you text. I'm going to give you an example. When I was single, this one young lady, she used to go to worship with me, right? I did not force her to go. She wanted to go, right? So she started going to worship with me. So when she started going to worship with me, it was regular for a little while. Then all of a sudden she called me and she said something like, I'm kind of tired, and when you get finished, just come to my house and I have dinner. So she kept doing stuff. She kept changing and stuff like that. So she stopped doing what she was doing. That was something important to me. I did not make that mandatory for her, but she insisted that she wanted to go to worship with me. So she started pulling back after a while. So it was not really in her. So, and this is the final thing. And I started it off this way, sister, and I'm going to end it this way. When he doesn't call and text you, he only wanted you for sex. When he got the sex from you, he got it. That's all he wanted from the beginning. He figured out how to do it. He got the sex from you. And this is what some guys do, sister, and some of you may be familiar with this. The guy, he started out real strong. He appeared to be very attentive. He appeared to be a good guy. He calls you regular. He texts you. He asks you how your day and all that kind of stuff. If you have children, how your children doing. He know everything to say. He got a lot of skills. But his main thing is from day one, he sized you up. And the only thing he wanted, because remember what I said from the beginning. I said most men that you encounter, their libido would be extremely high, or to say it differently, their sex drive will be pulsating so much, or to bring it down to everyday language. Everyday language. He wants to convince you that he's the good guy, but he is full of heat. And like Auntie said, it's a good game. He knows the game. This man have played game after game after game. And you see, he knows this. He knows that most women, not most women, women in general are emotional. So he figured out when you start talking, whether you realize or not, you were opening some doors that he was familiar with. And when he got familiar with those doors that you open, because he had a past, he knew what was worked for him in the past. So he got from the past and he implemented into you. So when he implemented to you, and he did whatever it took to get you, and when he got what he wanted, he did like Pokey Pig. You all remember Pokey Pig, right? Pokey Pig, one of Warner Brothers cartoon characters. You know what Pokey Pig said? Pokey Pig, he did like this and said, that's all, folks. So it was all to him. That's it. It was all over when he got what he wanted from you, and now he's gone. So these reasons, these are 13 reasons. It was some more reason. Yep, you felt for the overdose. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is to sisters, when you first encounter a man, you have to do your interview too. Don't be too quick to open your legs, sisters. Open your ears up before you open your legs. A lot of you sisters, like some men, lead with their pocket. Some of you women, you lead with between your legs. You supposed to don't be so free giving to your body, sister. You see, you have a spirit, sister. You have a soul and your body. You want that man to get to know your spirit, especially if you have a relationship with the Lord. And then you want that man to understand that you have a soul, you have a mind, a will, and your emotions. So you want that man to tap in on the inside of you, not your body. And that's what happened a lot of times, you sister. Some of you sister, some of you are 30, some of you 40, how you doing, Sister Jan, 50, and you still think, if I just give him my body, I can get him. I'm here today to tell you this, sister. Just because you give a man your body That does not guarantee that that man is going to want you to be a part of his life. It doesn't guarantee that, but that's what some of you sisters think, but it doesn't work. Because let me tell you this, sisters, when it comes to sex, I'm telling you this, sex is easy to get. Sex is very, very easy to get. There are some women that some men can call and they know, even if they haven't talked to a woman in a long period of time, they know she'll be on and ready if he calls her. Because he knows what worked for a certain woman. So let me tell you this again, sister. Like I said from the beginning, most men, when they approach you, and I just got to tell you this, because men are mostly, we look at a woman basically from the outside for most of the time, and especially a man of the flesh, he just basically going to look at how you look, basically, and how you shape, basically. But men that are spiritual, they looking at something more than how you look and how you shape. They looking at that woman's character and what they can they foresee that woman being in their life for a long period of time. So you got to remember this, and I have said this on some videos in the past. You're going to be in one or two categories when that man look at you. He's gonna either look at you as you wife material, or you not wife material. It ain't no in between. And out of those two, he's going to put you in a category, in the three subcategories. There's temporary long-term, and there's permanent. As you all know, some of you have heard me say this before, the temporary part is that all he need to know is your name or not, or he really don't have to know your name. This is a situation like if he meets you at a club or whatever and he convinced you to go to your car, to his car or to a hotel, that's temporary. Or temporary could be, I see you every now and then and that's it. I don't want nothing out of you but basically your body. Or if I can get some resources out of you, money, I get that too. That's temporary. Temporary long term is he could be staying at his place, she could be staying at her place, but he's not going to marry you. He's not going to marry you. And the long range part of it is permanent. So sister, you're either going to be temporary, you're going to be temporary long term, which means he will say, I'm serious about you, I'm committed to the relationship, but he's not going to marry you. And then permanent, he's going to marry you. Now going back up to the top part, you either, sister, going to fall into one of the main categories. He see you as a wife or he doesn't. You all got to understand that. You got to ask yourself, does this man see me as a wife or does he see me as something other than a wife? If he see you something other than a wife, you wasting your time. A lot of sisters, you wasting your time. As I said last night, a man know within a short period of time whether or not he want to invest in you for life. And to me, I think that a man can actually marry a woman within a year's time. He doesn't have to marry. He doesn't have to date that woman of 6 months and all that kind of stuff. Because to be realistic with you, my brother and sister, you will never know a person to his or her core because you're not the Lord. A man know within a short period of time whether or not he desire to marry you. If a man say, I just want to see where this goes, you're wasting your time. If he say that, I want to just see how this goes. Or he might say, let's not put no label on this relationship. That's another red flag. So what I'm telling you, my sisters, be wise so you won't get your heart busted, okay? Again, tonight's topic, when he doesn't call and text you. I hope that you all see how some men think and you could spare yourself a lot of tears and heartaches. Hopefully you will. And as you know, my brothers and sisters, I'm glad that you was here tonight. I love you. I love you. I love you. You all have a good night. Remember, sister, it's a sign when he doesn't call and text you. As a matter of fact, sister, sometimes show the initiative. If you are interested in the man, show some initiative. Because some men, we want to feel like will want it too. No, sister, don't get into the point where you want a man to keep running after you, That's why a lot of you sisters, it's bad to say, not all of you, a lot of you sisters, you're home by yourself, eating ice cream and looking at the TV all the time on a Friday night, okay? So show the man that you're a little interested in him too, okay? Again, I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sisters. You all have a good night. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Night, night.